Got to turn that microphone on. You've all seen Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. If not, definitely encourage you to go check that out. But now we're going to be talking about The Tax Doctor Goes to Springfield. Talking now with Anthony Travis. He is also known as The Tax Doctor. He joins us to discuss his experiences in trying to get new state policies in place. Tax Doctor, thanks for taking time with us this morning with Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop, editor of The Center Square. Get the newsletter in your inbox each and every day at thecentersquare.com, but also you can wake up with us here with Illinois in Focus Daily. Tax Doctor, thanks again for taking time with us. What are we talking about here today?
Well, we're talking about saving the state of Illinois and saving our communities, especially the Black communities, because we're under siege. People are losing their property like left and right. And that's because folks down in Springfield don't get it.
So, this is obviously an issue across the state. You've got residential property taxes being the highest in the country. You've got corporation property taxes, small business property taxes, farmer property. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And people look at their tax bills. As you know, the largest amount of money is coming from the local school board, where they get the largest chunk of that property tax dollar. But you're saying that there's another way to do this. I want you to first kind of encapsulate what you're saying is the best policy here, but also, we'll talk about what you've heard from legislators you've approached to have them talk about consolidation.
Well, the governor first spoke of consolidation in 2020 when he gave the legislators the task of coming up with a way for the taxpayers to consolidate and liquidate the 7,000 units of government that is destroying our state. We have more units of government than any other state in the union, which makes no sense. We have more school districts when you compare us to Florida and the amount of students that we have. And folks need to understand, it ain't about what you may think of some of these red states. It's about, do they have good policy? And when you think about the fact that Florida have 2,838,000 students, they only have 70 school districts. Compared to Illinois, who have 1,900,000 students, and we have 856 school districts. And when you think about 1942, we had over 12,000 school districts. Can you imagine if that's what we had today? We would be outraged over this issue of using property taxes to fund education.
So obviously education's very important. Public education's very important to a lot of people out there. We've seen the school funding formula change. The state has given $2+ billion extra in the past few years to K through 12 public schools. But you see property taxes continuing to go up and up and up across the state. What are you suggesting is the fix here?
The fix is to do what Hawaii did. When we had our constitutional convention, Hawaii was funding their schools by way of the what? The general fund. Then come California with Proposition 13. They fund their schools by what? By way of the general fund. And now to top it off is Indiana. 1959, or when we say 2009, Indiana fund their schools by way of the general fund. Therefore, they have low property taxes. And folks, the Citizen Advisory Coalition to Save Illinois, we're taking a page out of the two task force reports by the Democrats and former Representative Mary Flowers Subcommittee, where both reports talked about consolidation and getting the schools off the property tax system. It can be done. It must be done. It will be done.
All right, so tax doctor goes to Springfield. Talk about the genesis of you actually getting on the ground in Springfield, and gosh, I met you, tax doctor. It feels like a year ago or something. And you were
Yes.
just now getting to be able to meet with some legislators. Talk about that experience on the ground when they're in session, but also what you've been able to do with conversations with legislators outside of session.
Well, let me say, our committee just met with Representative Jahan Booth Gordon, who is the chair of the property tax working group. We met with her last week. It was an awesome meeting. We walked away understanding that they're going to have more meetings about property taxes, and they're going to bring all of the various bills that's out there together. But we're sticking firm with our position that you must have consolidation of these school districts. You must get the schools off the property tax system. And as we talk to some of the legislators, quite a few of them agree with the movement of getting the schools off the property tax system. Quite a few of them agree we need consolidation of units of government. There is a small, minute few who are eating at the trough, who don't want to see no changes. And because they don't want to see no changes, it's having a major effect on the whole state. And then there come the governor. The governor has to be the one who beat the drums for property tax relief. He talks a good game, but we need more than talk. We need action. He signed the bill into law to create the first tier workers, the second tier workers, and that's talking about police and fire, that the second tier workers now get the same benefit as the first tier police and fire workers. But the problem with that is $11 billion unfunded mandate strung on the taxpayers of the city of Chicago.
Well, and on the city of Chicago, and listen, I mean, I've covered Springfield city governments for years. It's been a while since I've been in the weeds over there, but I mean, even 10 years ago, they were talking about all of the city's share of property taxes going to pay for pensions. And again, that's just the city share of property taxes. That's not, Springfield school district taxes on top of that, or the Springfield Park district on top of that, and then, whatever library district there may be, and community college district. I mean, you look at your property tax bill and it's stacked up there, so there's a lot of other factors involved in all of this. But tax doctor with us here with Illinois in Focus Daily. We're gonna have to talk more about this in the future, no question. But do you feel that there's reception here? Do you feel that you're getting an honest shake? Or do you feel that there might be some lip service involved? I mean, because listen, property taxes have been a big issue for a lot of years here in this state.
Yes. I think that can go twofold, because I know I have one representative say the budget is messed up, or one would say I support what you're doing. Well, I'm here to say to all of them, Illinois is like it. We're sinking. And what's going to happen when the non-police and fire tier 2 workers get wind of the fact that he did it for the police and fire? They're going to want the same perks, same benefits. I don't blame them. But who have to foot that bill? The taxpayers. And that's why it is critical for the legislators to understand you're going to have to roll up your sleeves and make some major changes if we're going to save this state. Right now, all they can tell you, the money ain't there. Representative Will Davis, we owe schools $1 billion. The governor, We owe the schools billions of dollars, but the money ain't there. Well, that means you need to sit down, roll up your sleeves, and look at how we're operating in this state. Number one, we need a forensic audit of all these units of government. We need a forensic audit of the agencies that the state have, that the city of Chicago have, all these municipalities. There should be a major forensic audit so we can see where is all of this money going, especially when you look at CPS. Where is all the money going?
Anthony Travis is also known as the tax doctor. Finally here, if you could just share a bit of wisdom for those listening who may come across this, either you share it or however they get it. What are some of the things that residents, that taxpayers, that citizens of the state of Illinois should know if they want to get involved in trying to craft public policy?
First of all, they need to get with people like us. My number is 773-988-0934. My email address is daddysclub, DADDYSCLUB 2000 @yahoo.com. We got to come together, like-minded people, and we have to understand if we're to save this state, then we must overhaul this system. Matter of fact, folks, we lost $64 billion to outright migration. Let me say that again. We lost $64 billion to outright migration. We lost over 100-some thousand citizens who left the state of Illinois.
And with them, their income. Yeah, you're right. I mean, the IRS shows these documents and these reports every year. The number of tax filers that leave Illinois to go to other states, and that's not just people leaving. They're taking tens of billions of dollars with them as well.
This is serious. Greg, I want to commend you because I have been paying attention to your show. You have been highlighting this stuff for a long time. People need to take time and listen to your shows because we are at a point, and the mayor of Chicago made a great statement. He said, city and state finances are at a point of no return. Folks, do you understand that if Springfield don't change how they operate, we will be next door to Detroit? And the last time I checked, the retirees lost their pensions in Detroit. And where we're headed, folks. So we say to the pensioners, we say to the workers, all of you are stakeholders. The taxpayers, we're stakeholders. We got to come together. We don't want to see nobody lose their pensions. But folks, we got public officials that we're paying millions of dollars to. We got superintendents we're paying millions of dollars to. And these folks didn't put their fair share into the bucket. But folks, this system must be overhauled. We're paying their medical benefits. We cannot sustain that. And folks, that's why we need universal health care or Medicare for all. Because if we can get where we have, we'll take that back, folks. If we can get our retirees off of us paying for their insurance and have universal health care, can you imagine how much money we would save?
Well, I think the universal health care conversation, though, also brings up other things like taxpayers are still going to have to pay for that as well. Anthony, there's obviously so many facets to this conversation, so many interlocking parts there as well when it comes to the possibility of consolidating school districts and having all of the school funding come from the state fund rather than local property taxes. It's an interesting conversation, and hearing your perspective and how you're navigating this as a non-elected official of the State House.
Yes.
All right. Well,
we have two bills drafted by the LRB.
The Legislative Reference Bureau, yes. And we will definitely be talking more about the property tax issue as we continue on. So I greatly appreciate you taking the time and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you, Greg.
It is Illinois in Focus daily, each and every weekday morning here with the Center Square. Be sure to get the newsletter in your inbox and wake up with us as we go live each and every weekday morning with the Center Square. All right, it's right here with Illinois in Focus daily. Again, get the podcast where you get podcasts. Just search Illinois in Focus and you'll find it.